Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. It is the second paycheck of November, my last paycheck of November, and we are in the last week going into the holidays here. And you know, this month has been semi-spendy, but within budget. So I can't wait to get into the numbers with you. But before we do any of that, I want to welcome everybody to my channel. If you are new, please stick around. I think you'll like it. And if not, thank you for staying. And I can't wait to get into this video with you all soon. For those who don't know me, I'm Bo. I'm 31. I live in Seattle, Washington, and I am on a journey to reach over $1 million net worth before retirement age. So if you guys are into that, please stick around and we will get right into this video. We ended up paying off pretty much everything else for the rest of the month. Everything came in pretty much on time. We paid off our Netflix, which was $25.91. And then the gym came through actually today, $220.20. We paid $125 for our groceries. And we got an extra charge for our yearly subscription for our website. So that came out to be $17.16 on top of the normal $3.88, which is expected, but at the same time not. So that actually made us over budget. Moving on to savings, we ended up putting $1,000 towards our individual brokerage. So not towards our $20,000 emergency fund here, but here. So I did in the month of November put $1,000 towards my individual investments, and that is super exciting because you guys know I've been saying this basically all year that I really wanted to contribute to this. So hopefully going through to the new year I can keep doing that, and that's super exciting. So yes, $1,000 towards that, and that's all the saving that I really did this month. And again, for our $20,000 emergency fund, we're already there, so no beans. And I don't see myself actually contributing to this for the rest of the year just because I want to prioritize investing as much as possible. So come January, we will have a new cool savings visual here, but for the rest of this year, most likely not. And that's pretty much everything for my housekeeping items. So let's get into November's budget. All right, so for November, we had a few goals here. The first one was invest $1,000, which I was able to complete. The second one was to finish my trip sinking fund, and I did that as well. I added another $383 to my sinking fund, and that is it. And then my third one is to keep my miscellaneous spending within budget, and you guys, I actually did that this month. Fantastic. And that's even with, you know, a few birthdays, as well as going to the ballet with some friends, and with our end of year trip coming on the 29th. I definitely focused. I think being busy with work helped, but either way, a win is a win. We didn't spend over our budget. So let's just get into the actual figures for the month of November. Now I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I wrote all of this out in advance so that I didn't waste your time. But when we get to the end of the month with the percentages and the pie chart, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's a mess. I didn't even color that chart because the sinking fund threw me off. If you guys have the answers to the math, just leave them in the comments. I am open to those because I struggle with the math part of this at the end of each month all year. It's been consistent. So if you're able to help me out, do so. And let's get into these numbers. So I did get bank interest on the 1st of November, and it was $70.22. Again, I'm gonna start adding those because it stays in my savings. So I got $70, which is a substantial amount. I was paid my second paycheck. It was $2,429.25. Of that paycheck, I did invest the $1,000, and I put $383, like I said, towards my end of year trip, which came out to a total of $1,383. Put away, not spent on bills or things. My living expenses was $1,605.09, so a little bit under budget here. The entertainment, the same as always, $25.91. And then for my self-care, again, my blog snuck up on me. And so that $17.16 got us over budget by a little bit. Because I didn't spend my full beauty budget, it wasn't the most over budget, but still pretty over budget. For pets, that one was pretty expensive this month as well. I wasn't planning for food, but we ended up getting some extra because my husband always runs into this issue with the holidays, so he wanted to do it up before we needed it. And so went half on that. Yes, $40 is half for his food. He is a very expensive dog. We also had to get his medicine, which was $47.84. And it turns out he doesn't like his medicine, so we ended up getting another one. My husband paid for that, but still, he's very picky and annoying. And then his grooming also came out to $63. And so that subtotal was $150.84. So not too bad, not too over because of the discrepancy in his grooming costs. So that pretty much evens out. And then for our miscellaneous, I was able to spend under. I budgeted $500 and I spent $335, which really helps. And then you have the end of year trip here. This is all for my sinking fund, so it's not coming out of my paycheck. Most of this is money that was saved last month, and then I did contribute a little bit this month. So this all is going to be what I spend when I am in my, vacation mode. I'm not going to be taking out of my checkings or my savings. So I don't know how to account for this in the end of month math. And so you'll see that later. So yeah, when I do my spending, I'm not going to be sharing that in my day-to-day spend for December because I'm not going to be touching that money. This is all pre-saved money. So when we go to our day-to-day spend, where we left off was $11.10. I ended up getting ice cream, got a candle. We bought some tickets to the Nutcracker as well as some Home Alone, the Home Alone concert that will be happening in December. I also bought a little gift, went half with my husband, bought a little gift for our friends who were born, late November. So even though it did feel like a spendy month, I didn't spend too crazily. What I really did was I used my budget to its max. I went over a little bit in some categories, but under in others. So it did add up in my favor. So it worked out for the best, I guess, to where I didn't spend all of this $4,963 that I actually earned in November. As you can see here, when I did the math, the total budgeted expenses was $5,500. The actual expense was $53, and I have a difference of $180.58. So we are under budget for the month of November with all of the spending, gift giving, and vacation prep, which I will take that. As you guys can see, none of this is from me eating out. Outside of ice cream, which was $16, I didn't sit down anywhere to eat. I guess we had dinner at the ballet, but outside of that, I didn't go to any restaurants. As you guys can see, and from my last videos, you guys remember there was like Thai food, Japanese food, fried chicken. Like it was just, all of this was eating out basically, and it was adding like $200 to $500 extra in my spending. So I really am getting the hang of just rehabbing my budget and not spending so much on overconsumption, like literal overconsumption of food. Moving on to the end of the month, as you guys can see, I did the percentages, they didn't add up. I added the money, it just didn't, you guys, it didn't work. So I do know that my balance going forward is $2,292.52 because I have rent still in there. Most of my money is not being touched. That's because of rent. When I am paid, the timing, it just works out that way. But of the money that I do spend, most of it is still on living, and I'm trying to keep that below 30%. So that is where we are with our percentages. Savings was 14, living was the highest, savings was second, and then leftover is for next month. So that is the breakdown that I'm wanting to aim for, and so I'm happy to see that. When it comes to this month's goals, I actually knocked it out of the park. Honestly, sinking funds saved me. I think without a sinking fund, I wouldn't be able to account for all the money that I am planning to spend on vacation, which is coming up in about 4 days. So I'm super excited for that. And no worries, I've got you guys taken care of. I have my videos scheduled, so you guys will not miss a beat. It'll still be going on as normal because consistency is key here. So yeah, sinking funds definitely saved me for my November budget. And I think going forward, I'm gonna keep doing that. I'm gonna introduce a few more here in the new year. Where did I have the most trouble? Honestly, I didn't have any because I was very intentional with my money. I barely left my house. One, because I live in Seattle. We just went through a bomb cyclone and it's been raining for 3 weeks straight. I think today and yesterday was the first time that it didn't rain all day. Still got spots here and there, but it's been raining for 3 weeks straight. Seattle's actually living up to its reputation and it's working in my favor. So I've been staying in the house and that's why I've been able to keep up with my goals. Been very intentional again because my goal of going on vacation. What did I learn this month by tracking my expenses? You know, it's just getting easier. It's getting easier to focus on my goals. It's getting easier to reach them. I'm starting to get more satisfaction from just reaching those personal goals. Whereas, you know, when the months are warmer and you're able to go outside, there's more FOMO there. You're wanting to get outside, do activities. When it's cold and raining, I'm okay just being inside, crunching some numbers and just being focused on my goals. So I am grateful for the productivity. I don't always feel it, but it's been helping me this month. And what could I improve? My math skills. But in all honesty, in all seriousness, other than the math, I would say practicing patience, because there's a lot of things that I want to get started that I can't until the next year. And, you know, you can really get lost in your thoughts there with, you know, just wanting to get started on some goals and wanting to grow your investments and, you know, build up that sinking fund. And you want it to just be there now, but there would be no satisfaction in that if it could just be immediate, right? So I think something that I'm wanting to work on as we end the year is just building up on my patience, as well as just, you know, staying steadfast, being focused on the goals. I think this month was a slow and steady, and that is very satisfying when you look at the end of the month and you see that you did exactly what you planned to do. So that is pretty much it for my budget. I am going to work out the December budget and all of that for you next time we get paid. And I don't get paid again until I believe December 6th. So when that does come, I will show you guys how everything's broken up and all of that. And I hope you guys have a great holiday season. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving if you celebrate. And if not, enjoy your time off from work if you get that. And if not, stay strong. We are so close to the end of the year. I very much appreciate everybody who has, you know, followed along this year, as well as those who are new. If you are new, thanks again for coming, and I hope you like this video. But more importantly, please leave a comment below how your budget went for November. What are you planning for December? And what are some things that you learned in this month, in this holiday season, when it comes to spending and tracking your expenses as well? That's what I want to know in the comments. So please leave that down there, and I will see you guys in the next video.